Dr. Rebecca Clem, and it is 2021, and now we have a new administration where there seems to be a slightly different interest about education. I have been asked in the last couple of days to talk a little bit about really how I came up with Numbers Alive, and after 50 years as a teacher, what are some of my thoughts and the questions that people have asked about why I did develop Numbers Alive in response to parents and teachers after I wrote a musical. Let me start today, which will be the first in a series of about 5-minute videos that I want to carry through some ideas about mathematical thinking, which I believe is fundamental to how we go forward. We should not be focused on memorization and speed, but on thinking. And that is a change that I encourage the current administration to really focus on, and then prepare teachers to be able to teach mathematics, especially as a required class, so that people learn to think about how to use it and why it's useful, not just how to calculate and do worksheets. So let's start in with a question that came to me the other day, or actually yesterday. I had the year 2021 in my window, and a person who's graduated from high school was here fixing something, and he says, why don't you make the add, subtract, multiply, divide signs to go with them? And I've heard that question before. In fact, had parents ask it, but not children, and the children usually have interesting responses, which I will talk about. And I said, well, I could. There's no question, but I could. Why have I not focused on making those? Because fundamentally, I want you to think about numeracy without the algebraic operations. It didn't start with algebra. It started with counting and measurement and geometry. And only once our buddy zero came in by the Indians in either 9th century AD or 13th, there's a lot of new archaeology and history that is suggesting it might have been as early as 9th century AD, that once zero came in, then we could change into the algebraic system, the place value system we have today, where the Arabs then took zero around the world, and the world algebra is a Arabic number, comes from Arabic. It's because they were the traders. So let's go back and say, well, why don't I do that? And what can you do? So I make the characters, and I make them in different sizes, but here are the ones we use in the puppets. So I worked with second graders who told me that if they could use them as puppets, they wanted the arms to be able to move, and they wanted the arms to be long enough to cover the eyes so that they could be shy or be happy, but that the arms would allow them to move. And that is why these are the puppet numbers we use in our films. They're 10 inches high. They were developed in conjunction with first and second graders. So that is how they came to be. Now, if you want to create things like this, you can. Why don't you make them? But these are not characters. These are tools of the characters. Think about how children personify things. They personify the glass of milk. They may personify the M&M, which is being done by the candy company now. They may personify their lampshade, their dog. They do anything they have, but those are nouns. These are the characters of the number system. These are the nouns. These are tools. Just like we don't personify the word run, we personify the shoe that runs. If you look at children, they put faces on things, not verbs, not adjectives. And these are the characters that can use these tools. Now, you can make them, and I would like you to also be a maker. You also can make your own numbers. Just because I've made them doesn't mean you can't. I'm giving you ideas, how to invent, how to imagine, and how to use. So in fact, if these things are made with fabric, then you can put a little Velcro, although children hate Velcro, we'll come back to that, so that you can put the little symbols in between them, or you could attach them in some way so that you could have 2 minus 0, and then you could bring in an equals, and you would have an equals, and you would have 2, because it's equal to 2. So there you go. You could actually do that. And that allows you to be a maker, and you will realize the differential between the characters as the storytellers and the ones that you use all the time versus the various operations that they might do as their tools. All right, we'll come back for the next lesson in the series, or they're not really lessons, but the next engagement. So we see what should the things be about mathematical thinking as we go forward and trying to see what should math education be in the future. This is the Numbers Lady. See you on the next one.